Look at that. Filming multiple intros at one time, because you guys can tell because I'm wearing the same shirt. Let's make a focaccia with the garlic confit and oven roasted tomatoes. This is gonna be really, really good. So let's get into it. We're gonna start by taking 2.5 cups of 95°F water. We're then gonna add 5 grams of instant dry yeast. You can see me here weighing it out. You want to be precise with bread, so I like to use weights. So we're then going to mix that up, and I'm going to mix, and I sped this up. So this could be even worse. We're going to continue to mix this up, and I just hope you guys know I'm recording this after eating Domino's at midnight on a Friday night by myself, and I burnt the crap out of the top of my mouth, so bear with me if I slur my words. We're then going to take a large bowl. I just use the bowl of my stand mixer, and you're going to add in 900 grams of 00 flour. I ended up using organic, I believe, but it's a lot of flour, and it's quite the process. Yep, pour that in there. You're then going to take some fresh sea salt, 16 grams of fine sea salt added into here. This is, I will say, a Josh Weissman recipe for the bread. The actual dough itself, I used his recipe. I just added my own touches with the garlic confit. You're then going to mix it up like we did with the yeast and water mixture. And then after we get that mixed up, we're going to pour in our warm water and yeast mixture. And here is the fun part. You're then going to spend the rest of eternity mixing this dough up by hand. So I start with a loose hand here, and I'm just trying to get it put together. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, this part's difficult because it's going to feel really, really dry. And you're just going to be like, this is all wrong. I was doing the same thing. I was doing this, and I was like, you know what? This entire YouTube video is ruined. And another Josh Weissman thing, that another recipe in his cookbook that doesn't work right. No comment. No shade. Just going to keep mixing, and over time...
Oh my gosh, what is going on with this dough?
It's going to get a little bit better. But let's speed it up. And I start kneading, and I'm throwing around this bowl, and I'm kneading, and so on. Now some commentary while this is going on. Oh, never mind. We're jumping into the next thing. We're going to throw that into the bowl, and then we're going to cover it up with a nice blanket of saran wrap, plastic wrap, cling wrap, whatever you got. Just going to throw it on there. I always hate in YouTube videos. They make it look so perfect and so easy. I always struggle with saran wrap and can't get it to stay on right. You're going to throw it in the fridge. Oh, wait. No, you're not. I don't like what his recipe does here. He didn't put any olive oil on it. I'm going to put some olive oil on top of my focaccia to let it sit in the fridge. You're then going to put this in the fridge for 48 hours. The reason why I'm adding the olive oil is so that it doesn't create like a dry crust on the outside of the dough. It's common practice. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to take an entire head of garlic, and I'm going to peel them. I end up cutting off the roots just because I'm really particular about it. And yeah, you see I have a lot of garlic there. And then we're going to take a small saucepan and throw our garlic in there. Yep, just like that. And you're going to turn that on like a medium-high heat. We're going to try to get that pan heated up. And then we're going to pour about 1.5 cups of garlic or olive oil. This sucks that I keep messing up my voice recording. RIP to the listeners. You're just going to pour in about 1.5 cups of olive oil. Really, I just wanted to cover up the garlic. Yep, ran out of that one, and then it just keeps going. Yep, just going to keep on pouring as much olive oil as possible. You want to spend at least $500,000 on olive oil in this video. Just kidding. Shake, shake, shake. Oh, not enough. More olive oil. This brings me to a good point. I always imagine that my biggest haters watch these videos and make fun of them. If so, leave a like, comment, haters. You're still driving views. I don't care. Maybe my ex-girlfriends and all of her friends just watch these for some comedic relief. Don't care. Stay hating. You lose. I win. I think it's like a Nicki Minaj song. Yep, you're going to let this start to simmer. Once it starts simmering, you're just going to stir it up a little bit. I used a lid here just to get it heated up quickly. You don't have to do that. As shown here. Here's what it looks like. It's nice golden. Your entire house is going to smell great. Look at that. Look at those little simmers. And then I turn it off. After about 30 minutes, yeah, I really was just looking for the color here. I then put that in the fridge, let it chill, and then strain the garlic out of it. And I took my sheet tray here after the 48 hours, and I placed the olive oil in there. I'm using that garlic-infused olive oil. That's where a lot of the flavor is going to come from in this focaccia, is from that garlic confit and the oil. We're then going to spread that oil all over the pan. I mean, the sides, everywhere. Spread it all over the pan. I will say I used too big of a pan. Make sure you have the right size pan here. I don't know what pan to tell you guys to use, but do better than I did. We're then going to take our dough out of the fridge, and it's going to be a brick. You can see me struggling here. I'm going around it. I didn't want to break the dough, but it is going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very dense at this point in time. You're going to place it into your sheet tray. You're going to spread it out ever so slightly. You don't want to push it here. You don't want to really overstretch the dough. And then once you get it stretched out a little bit, you're going to end up covering it up and letting it sit for 15 minutes at room temperature to let it kind of come up to room temperature, really. As you can see here, watch this. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, make sure to get olive oil on your shirt here. That's why I did. That's just a professional way of doing it. That's not because I suck. That's what the professional chefs are doing nowadays, is getting olive oil all over their shirts. I'm getting quite delusional. It's past my bedtime. It's almost 1 a.m. and I'm filming a voiceover for my 119 YouTube subscribers. And now my battery's low on my phone. Great. So yeah, we're going to cover this up with shrink wrap or saran wrap. And after the 15 minutes, you're going to come back and you're going to re-stretch it out again. You're going to want to try to get it out to the edges. Since I used a pan that could feed an entire army, mine's not going to stretch that far. So you're just going to take your time and go through here and try to stretch it out. Yep. And get a little olive oil on top of it. That ain't no problem. That olive oil is just so pungent and it's great. Cover that back up. Here's the thing. You're going to be like, well, now we've let this thing sit for 500 hours, Jared. How long do we need to let it sit for now? Good question. You're going to let this sit for 3 hours. Probably should have sped that part up. You're going to let it sit for 3 hours. After that 3 hours, you're going to take it out. And you're going to be like, dang, this thing's risen a lot if you're using the right size pan. If you're me, you're going to be like, ah, crap. You're then going to dimple it. And I will say in the meantime, when you have about an hour left in your proofing process here, you're going to preheat your oven to about 450. I ended up doing 450 actually, because that's the highest that this pan was rated for. And I'm an engineer and I don't want to go over its capabilities. You're then going to place your confit garlic on top of the focaccia, and you're gonna spread it out. You're then gonna take some little cherry tomatoes, petite cherry tomatoes. I got these from Kroger, and I'm just gonna sprinkle them on top. These are great. When you throw them in the oven, they just add some nice flavor. Some fresh rosemary sprigs. You're gonna take that, spread it all over the top, and then some flaky salt. Look at that. Then we're going to take this and throw it into the oven for 20 to 30 minutes. I think mine was in there for about 25 minutes. Go figure. You're going to take that out of the oven. Oh, here we go. What do you guys think it's going to look like? Would you look at that? Beautiful. I had a bun in the oven, and it's this focaccia. Oh, yeah, do a little dancey dance. Then you're going to do the most stressful, switch over in your life. You want to take it out of the pan after about a minute of cooling. You don't want to let it sit there for too long because you want to have that crust and you want to have that crunch, and you'll lose that if you just let it sit in the oily pan. We're then going to let that cool for a little bit. I will say this thing is great. Look, oh! Woo! Making me act up. I brought this into the office for my coworkers, and it was a hit. It was a hit. They all loved it, and it was gone by like 8 a.m. And everyone's breath smelled like garlic and was spectacular. Y'all got to try that one. The focaccia was amazing. The bread needed a little work. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It wasn't as light and fluffy as I'd like for it to have been. So I'm going to continue to critique that recipe and tweak it until I get it just right. I am also going to say that the garlic confit with the garlic infused olive oil, the flavor is there. So I would recommend using this if you guys are wanting just a focaccia that just hits you in the mouth. The tomatoes are a great refresher to it. The garlic isn't too overpowering since we confit it. I would highly recommend this one, and I hope you guys liked it too. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Thank you, and have a good one.